think it was yesterday, he announced he's going to be running for mayor for the city of Fargo. Hukun Dabar. He and I spoke recently. We were at a kind of a dinner party event at James Lamont House. Had a phenomenal conversation, which I want to get into in a little bit here. But first and foremost, Hukun, welcome to the show. Congratulations. Great to have you with us, sir.
Thank you, Chris, for having me. I'm so excited to be on your show today.
Oh, me too. It's going to be a great conversation because I think if we get there, you are going to blow some people's minds based on what you and I chatted about at James Lamont's house. And first, I just think you've got a great story. So share with people just a little bit about your background. How did you get to the United States? What's that journey been like, and what are you up to now?
Chris, I came to Fargo in 2014, February. It was very cold. And my mom, I came here as a child of US citizen, and my mom was a resident of Fargo. She lived here. This was the first city I came. I love Fargo. And I went to school in Fargo and Fargo Moorhead, and I went to M State. I went to MSUM and been a community builder and build a lot of bridges in the community. Work with this community for so long, helped so many people and so many organizations build their capacity. And I've been in this community and for so long, and
So tell me a little bit now, did you come from, because I think your background, Somalian, did you come from Somalia? Or were you in a refugee camp, or how did you end up coming to
no,
Fargo?
I was not in refugee camp. So I was born in Somalia, but I lived in Kenya. And so my mom left us when we were young. She left us with our grandma. And when she came to the United States, she filed for us a visa. And that's why I came here.
Nice. And so you've been here since 2000.
To reunite with my mom, basically.
Yeah, beautiful. And so, at some point we're going to have you and mom on the show. You know that, right?
Definitely. Looking forward to it.
So you've been here since 2014. What made you say, hey, you know what? I need to run for mayor?
Chris, I'm going to tell you this. For the past year, I've been having ongoing discussion with the people and neighbors, friends, stakeholders, and the great here at the great city of Fargo. And I learned that, and after talking to so many of us, our challenges are same, and no matter how we look like, and the challenges are real. And Fargo, the time is now for me to announce my candidacy.
Do you mind,
And
Hukun? I want to get your permission, but you and I had a really, I thought, fascinating conversation at James' house. Do you mind if I dive into a little bit and we share with our audience what you and I talked about?
we will talk another time on that one. Once I once. So basically, I'll tell you this, and I did not put together. I put together. So my policy team are working on my platform and everything, and hopefully by next week you're going to see deep on my platform.
Well, and not even the policy piece, but just how you said to me, and again, if you want to say, hey, Chris, we'll talk about that later. But when you said to me, Chris, I got here and I was sort of told to think this way. And now that I've been here for a few years, I'm realizing, like, wait a second, that's not what I've been told. Hopefully, you know what I'm alluding to, so you can give people more specifics. That's not what I've been told. And now I'm finding, like, wait a second, I want to go out and live the American dream and build businesses and build family. And so can you speak to that a little bit?
Basically, I learned that even after talking to our community here, that there's so many challenges in each one of us are facing. And look at I want to be a homeowner here in Fargo, and the burden that they live every day. Telling me about the special assessment and the workforce shortages in town. So there's so many challenges in town, and the reasons why. So and the reason why, I know you and I also we have talked about this. One of the things that after having you and so many others and that discussion about the special assessment, I realized that we need to end the special assessment. We need, to make sure that so many people can buy, can be homeowners, and so that they don't have to pay a second mortgage payment. And if you look at Go ahead.
Can you just say that one more time, please? We need to end what? I'm sorry, Hukun. What was that we need to end?
We need to end the special assessment. The
That
people,
was
I'll tell you this. I'll tell you this. I learned that the special assessment is a debt, and debt takes away people freedom. And the people of Fargo deserve to be free. We need to save Fargo.
very well said. So the question to you then is, how are you going to do that? Because as you know, builders love the special assessments because the city's putting all the money up. The builders don't need to do that. The city itself uses special assessments like a bank. They get charged, let's say 2%. They charge 3%. So they're using that as actually a revenue stream. So how in the world, if you were to become mayor, are you going to come in and change that thought process and end special assessments?
Chris, I'll tell you this. My policy team are putting together and the action items, how ways we can do it and how we're gonna do it. You're gonna see all that on my platform. Don't worry about it. By next week, you're gonna see all that. How we're gonna end, where we're gonna get the money to pay all this. You're gonna see it on my platform.
All right, then let me ask you this, because today there was the State of the Cities, the Fargo, or excuse me, yeah, the Fargo Mayoral West Fargo Chamber put that on, and they always ask, what's the biggest challenge facing our community today? And forever now, it seems like the number one answer is workforce, workforce, workforce. We can't find the workforce. Now, I think you can really speak to this, Akun, because if you don't
Yes.
mind, share with people what you're doing right now as far as I think it's the Afro
American
American
Development
program that you
Association.
have, right? So
Yes,
so
yes.
share with people a little bit about your background there, and then how does that translate into you solving the workforce problem here in our community?
Chris, and I think my work in ADA was basically to help new American and families and to make sure we help them on job search, place them to jobs and all that. And they had so many challenges when it comes to language and when it comes to transportation and all that. So for us in ADA side, what we did was we put together an assessment called Strength and Barrier Form, whereby challenges that an immigrant can face or a person that's looking for a job can face. It's transportation, housing, childcare, and all that. And what we were trying to do is to make sure that the people that we are working with, that we remove one or two barriers from the list on the assessment. And there's so many people who are looking for a job in the area. There's so many people who want job, but they don't get it. So there's so many companies who are hiring, but what we are lacking here and what we learn is the connection between the employer and the people who are looking for a job. It's not there, and I'm not sure what the city is doing about it. And because they're always talking about workforce shortages, what are you bringing? Any ideas? Any innovation? It's not happening. So are we going to talk about always workforce shortages? And that's why you're going to see on my platform if that you're going to see on my platform when I become the mayor of Fargo, that we're going to have a department called Workforce that connects between the people who are looking for jobs and the companies, and that will going to ease the workforce shortages that we're having in the area. You're going to see more on my platform. You're going to learn about it. This will be the best, and within the first time of a mayor, you're not going to hear about workforce shortages in the area.
So let me back up for 1 second, because you said, "Hey, Chris, there's a ton of people that are looking for work, and there's a ton of people that need people, but that's not being connected." So you just blew my mind when you said there's a ton of people looking for work, but they can't find jobs. How is
Yes.
that possible?
So I can, if you told me today, bring for me 20 individuals, I can bring for you. And I remember even you yourself, Chris, you connected to us some companies who are looking
Yes.
for workers, and you told me, Hukun, reach out to those folks. They're looking for, and that was something that the city can bridge and can do and connect people to. And it was not happening. And that was something because as a mayor, when there's shortages, when there's challenges, what you have to do is you need to create an access. So there's lack of access in the area. You need to bring, organizations that are working on these issues. You need to bring employers, HRs, and all that on the table and say, how can we solve this? Bring people and together. It's not happening. We just talk about workforce shortage, but there's nothing that's going on, and that's where that I'll be the catalyst to bridge this, to solve this issue. And you will see that we apply jobs for people, and they go for interview, and then they get an email next day. It's like, oh, you are not qualified for it, or we have taken someone else. And then next day you'll see the job is posted there, and
Wow.
that means there's no leadership in the area. So if there is leadership, if the city will have taken action on this, there will have been ways that they can have connect to individuals who are seeking for job and the companies together.
Hukun, Hamid sent me your website URL yesterday, so I don't know if it's up yet or not. Do you want to give out your website URL so people can go check it out, or do you want to wait?
And I'm gonna give out, but hopefully by the end of next week, it's gonna be
Okay.
live, and you're gonna see my platform. It's gonna be. It's not something that I just came up with. For me, talking to the resident of Fargo, having conversation with them, that will be what I've learned from them. That will be with their words, and that will be their platform. And I'll be the mayor for the people of Fargo, all of them.
Hukun, I just want to say, first off, congratulations and thank you. I'm trying to put myself in your shoes, and I try to imagine like, okay, if I'd gotten to Kenya in 2014. By the way, what's the native language in Kenya?
Swahili
Swahili.
and English as well.
So how do I
Swahili.
say thank you? How do I say thank you and great job in Swahili?
Shukran.
Shukran.
Shukran, yeah. It's Arabic
Shukran.
word that's Swahili, yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Shukran. So
Yeah,
shukran. But
shukran.
I'm just like I'm listening to you. You're talking. You're dropping like the word catalyst, and I'm thinking, man, if I went to Kenya and someone said, "Hey, Chris, you need to go run for mayor and you need to speak in Swahili in a matter of 7 years,"
Yeah.
I don't know if I could do that. So I just really tip my hat to you and say thank you. Great job. We look forward to having you back on the show. Okay.
Thank you. It's only America that you can do this, that you can believe and dream yourself and become the person you wanna be.
You know, man, we got to go to a break, Cocoon, but if you don't mind, because we had your friend Mature in one day and he said something really powerful. I want to hear it from you. Define for me, because I think many of us here in America were born here, we're raised here, and we sort of take it for granted. Like, what does it mean to you to be an American and the American dream?
Sure. You said you're going break, or you want me to answer?
I want you to answer that quickly. I want to give you like a minute if you can, please, because we got to go to break. But just in a minute, like, tell me what does the American dream mean to you?
It means a lot to me. And Fargo is one of the city that I came first. This is where I went to school, and this is where I started working. This is where I started driving. So I couldn't do in Kenya. This is where I did it. This is where and United States. This is where I became U.S. citizen. This is where I became that I'm able to vote right now, and I can run. And there's so many things that means to me. And I can't say this all what American dream means to me. I can't say this in 1 minute, but I can write books and books and books about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
It-
fair. We'll have you do that, man.
Freedom and opportunity. That is all.
Yeah, I love how you said, "Hey, we're going to make Fargo free." And you know what, Cocoon, we ran out of time. You and I need to talk about how we're going to make Fargo a crypto-friendly city. We're going to
Yeah.
have NFTs. It's going to be blockchain, right? So the
Yeah.
next time we have you back, we'll talk about that. Okay.
All right. Thanks.
All right, brother. Take care, man. Hukun Dabar running for mayor for the great city of Fargo. We'll have him back on the show. You can find out more about him. And as you heard, his website will be live hopefully in the next week or so.